What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so yesterday we saw Game 3 of the first round series between the Indiana Pacers and the Milwaukee Bucks. And despite what Mad Dog Russo has to say, this is a rivalry. These two teams cannot stand one another. According to Mad Dog Russo, you have to have been playing it with sideburns for it to count to be a rivalry to him. Got to go back that long. You know what I'm saying? Look, the Knicks and the Bulls were a rivalry, and it was particularly one-sided in favor of the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what he's talking about. But anyway, there was a change before the start of this game for the Bucks, and that is Taurean Prince, who's had a great season for the Bucks, was not in the starting lineup. In his place was Gary Trent Jr., and the belief was that Gary Trent Jr. would defend Tyrese Halliburton more effectively than Taurean Prince, who, by the way, also was not giving the Bucks really much anything offensively. And let me tell you something. I know the brother 78 Sports TV, Aramer's Logic. There are other Bucks channels who know more than me when it comes to following the Bucks. They've made the point that they think that a lot of these coaches watch our videos. And I think, they see what some of us are saying. Of course, they have their guys who are complete experts in this subject, but I think listen to the fans. And constructive criticism, it's constructive criticism. It's not meant to be injurious. It's just telling the truth about what's going on with the team. But anyway, Gary Trent Jr. got the start, and he had the start for the ages, the performance for the ages. He tied a franchise record established by Ray Allen back in 2001, the 2001 Bucks team that went to the conference finals, by the way. Ray Allen, I think it was Glenn Big Dog Robertson and Sam Cassell. He hit 9 3-pointers and 37 points, great efficiency. And not only just that, he held Tyrese Halliburton in check to 14 points and I believe 10 assists. Okay, pedestrian numbers, but not what he's capable of doing. Giannis Antetokounmpo was his usual unstoppable self. 37 points, 12 rebounds. I think he had 6 assists. But it was his efficiency, Giannis's efficiency. We usually see him be efficient from the floor, and he was 14 of 19 from the field, but he was 9 of 10 from the line. And that's not something we've seen a lot of with Giannis. Whenever he has those games where he's locked in from the free throw line, that's when you know his concentration is absolutely at an apex level. He becomes the apex predator out there. And we saw that from Giannis Antetokounmpo. A magnificent performance from him and Gary Trent Jr. And I think I heard a stat that said that, or a trivia stat that said they're the first Bucks duo to score 35 points together in the same game in the history of this franchise. That's amazing when you consider some of the great players that have played for this club. And Kyle Kuzma had 12 points. Now Dame, for those who didn't watch the game, you would say, man, Dame 2 of 12 from the floor, 1 of 8 from three-point range. He was garbage. Offensively, he didn't do much. He did have 5 assists. But my brother 78 Sports TV so brilliantly stated, Dame is buying into the culture, I guess, because you can't be out there on the floor doing nothing. And Dame, for whatever he wasn't contributing offensively, he contributed defensively. He was getting in front of guys. He was contesting shots. I think he had a couple blocks in this game. He was disruptive. He was being disruptive on defense, and that's what you got to do, man. Look, you're gonna have bad offensive nights. That's gonna happen, especially in the playoffs when you're playing against the upper echelon talent in the league. But what you can't do in the playoffs is go out there and be a liability on both ends of the floor. You can't do that. You got to be able to play defense. You can play defense when healthy every single time. The defense is always going to be there. Maybe some nights the shots aren't going to fall, but to be a truly great team and a truly great player, in my opinion, you got to get done defensive end. That's what separates, when I was growing up at least, the very good player from the great players. You were expected to play defense. AJ Green, 12 points in this contest. Bobby Portis had, I believe, 10 points and a couple of threes down the stretch. Actually, in this game, I don't mean down the stretch. And the Bucks just, methodically crawled back into the game with their offense and their defense starting to click, and the three balls starting to fall, and that blew the game open. They went from a 10-point deficit to being up by like 5, 8, 10, 12, as much as 20, and they cruised to victory. Matter of fact, just to give you an example of how hot they got, at one point the Bucks were just 4 of 23 from downtown. After that, the Bucks nailed 11 of 18 threes. The three ball is what really reigns supreme in today's game. When the three balls fall, that's pretty much it. I want to say something about Giannis right quick. Giannis is so underappreciated and unappreciated and criminally underrated by the majority of the sports media and some fans out there. Giannis leads the playoffs right now in points and rebounds. For this series, through 3 games, Giannis is averaging 35.7 points. He's playing, I think, 36.3 minutes per game, I believe it is. That means he's averaging almost a point a minute out there. A point a minute. A point a minute. Keep in mind, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 points per game, 50.4 points per game in 1961-62, while averaging 48.5 minutes per night. Kobe averaged like 35.4 one year, playing, I think, 38 minutes a night, 38, 39 minutes a night. Jordan averaged 37, playing like 39, 40 minutes a night. This is remarkable production by this guy. He's averaging 14 rebounds, 4.7 assists, and he's shooting 67.7% from the floor in this series. No wonder this is the same team that he dropped 64 points on, his career high. And I believe he had another game where he dropped 57 on them. Giannis treasures going up against the Pacers. And I know that in Giannis's mind, he wants revenge because he knows, and you know, the Bucks should have beaten the Pacers last year if they were healthy, if he were healthy. And all this yip talking that Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers are doing. Oh, by the way, Pascal Siakam had a great game. 28 points, 5 rebounds. Only 5 rebounds, in my opinion. They're not a lot, but wanted to put that out there. He did have a good offensive night. But the Bucks are on a mission. I think the Bucks are going to win this series. And I hope I'm wrong, but I think down the stretch of this series, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be when I say fight, I don't mean like Bo Holyfield, but it's going to be a kerfuffle and a scuffle when you get into a huffle, trying to talk like Ali. It's gonna be a huffle and a kerfuffle and a scuffle when you get into the Buck shuffle. Nah, but anyway, this is good, Sid. Tell me what you guys think.